Hello and welcome to the Generational Gamer. You know, with the release of the Cowabunga Collection from Konami, featuring so many fine Ninja Turtles games, it occurred to me, I wonder if this is a test. I wonder if there will be more Konami games. Let's get into it. So there are two other games that really come to mind, and they're companions with another company. Those include X-Men and The Simpsons. Why these two? Well, because Arcade1up has already released games like this. They already have a X-Men cabinet, and they already have a Simpsons cabinet. Both games were released by Konami in the arcade back in the late 80s, early 90s. And one has to wonder if the license can be obtained by Arcade1up for their cabinets. Could Konami outsource it again to Digital Eclipse for all the modern consoles? That is the question we have here. I want to bring about some discussion here, so let me know what you think. Is this Konami's plan? In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about this Cowabunga Collection. Now, there's two games that have never been officially released to all the home consoles. Yeah, I know you could buy Battle Nexus 2 and Battle Nexus 3 for the PS2, the GameCube, and the Xbox, and it had an included game in there. Those games were so bad that it was worth buying a Game Genie just to avoid playing those games and unlock the goodies. But they weren't exactly good ports. You know, Xbox 360 had the Simpsons arcade and Ninja Turtles, the original one, available for digital purchase at one point, but it's no longer available today. Now, the Simpsons game was also released on the PS3, which that one I have. I've only played it a few times on there because, you know, you play one of these Konami games, they really are all the same when you look at it in the big picture. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it on the Switch if I wanted to, because I think it'd be a fun streaming game, assuming that the price is right. And maybe if it was the entire Konami collection. I don't know, we'll see. But getting back to Cowabunga Collection, the arcade games, which had not really been released prior, are now available. And, I can't stress this enough, you can actually be player one with a different character than Leonardo or Homer. Because, see, in the original arcade games, whichever joystick you grabbed, that was the character you played. Unfortunately, Leonardo was always to the left, Raphael was always all the way to the right. I like to play somewhere in the middle, so I had either Donatello or Michelangelo. But that was in the actual arcade. These things got expensive. I didn't play them forever. My parents used to give me a little bit of leeway to play those games, but again, not a whole lot. So being able to play them now as a grown-up without having to buy a cabinet, even though I already bought the Countercade for the Ninja Turtles, pretty cool. So I have to give it props. I do like that the game features many enhancements for the console games. And I want to just show a few of them right here, particularly on the NES. The NES games have reduced sprite flicker and reduced slowdown. Phenomenal, because if you're going to play them emulated, you might as well play them right. The Retro USB AVS has a feature where it allows you extra sprites, so you don't have quite as much sprite flicker on games like Ninja Turtles when you have more than two enemies on the screen. It still has slowdown, but it's an FPGA console. In this case, it's 100% emulation, sanctioned emulation by Konami, but it's emulation, so you can make changes and improve it, of which I'm going to take advantage of. I'm not playing it for authenticity, I'm playing it for fun. Now, all that being said, the game collection is pretty good. You've got the two arcade games, you've got the 3 NES games, the Super NES games, the Sega Genesis games with region capabilities, and you've got the Game Boy games. Now, Fall of the Foot Clan's the only one I ever played when I was young. I already outgrew Ninja Turtles by the time 2 and 3 came out, and I can't even play number 2 on the Game Boy. Number 3 I'm going to give a try and see how it is. But you play one Turtles game, you really do play them all. That being said, it's not really a problem because they're all fun and you get a different flavor. I do like the online capabilities of all these games, although I haven't played them myself. The fact that I can play with my buddy who lives in another city, pretty cool. I'm happy about that. So, what do you think about my original hypothesis? Given that there are these other two games that are also available through Arcade1up, do you think that the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection might be a test bed for what I'm thinking where the other two Arcade1up games may come to the modern consoles in the way of a collection themselves. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and have a good one.